You ever sit in your favorite chair, look around your place and think, all right, it's just me now. What do I really need to keep life steady and maybe even a little enjoyable after 70? Here's the truth. Living alone at this stage of the game isn't only about the peace and quiet. It's about staying sharp, safe, and honestly, sane. And don't worry, I'm not going to hand you the usual cliches like drink more water or get plenty of rest. No. This is about the real, practical stuff that makes solo life after 70 not just possible, but actually pleasant. So, grab that cup of coffee you reheated 3 times already, and let's dive into the 10 things you truly can't live without when you're on your own after 70. A check-in buddy who actually notices. This one's way bigger than most folks realize. When you're living alone at this age, having someone expect a quick hello from you isn't just nice. It's a safety net. I'm not saying you need daily hour-long heart-to-hearts or a blow-by-blow update of your day. I mean a reliable system where somebody knows you're up and moving, even if it's just a simple text that says, alive. Take my pal Frank. He's 74, lives out by the lake, and could barely tell you how to reset a password. But he and his son worked out a deal. Every morning, by 8:30 a.m., Frank sends an emoji. Some days it's a thumbs up, other days a coffee mug. One morning he sent a taco, just for laughs. If no text shows up by 9:30, his son calls. By 10:30, he's in the car headed over. Sounds over the top, right? But last year, Frank slipped on his porch at dawn, couldn't stand, and dropped his phone. Temps were below freezing. That little emoji routine saved him. Your chain doesn't need to be big, just strong. And if texting isn't your thing, tape a note in the window every morning, flip on a porch light at a set hour, make a quick noise on Facebook, even use a smart speaker. All you need is one small, consistent signal that says, still here, no need for the rescue team. 2. A paper trail for your brain. You know those times when you walk into a room and suddenly have no clue why you're there? Multiply that by a couple missed meds and a late utility payment, and you've got what I call Wednesday. Here's the deal. The brain doesn't get worse as we age. It just gets sneakier. Stuff that used to stick now slips away if you don't pin it down. That's why you need to write things down, all of them. Because when you live alone, there's no one around to double-check you. Nobody's going to ask, hey, did you already take that pill? Or, didn't you already pay that bill? My neighbor Gloria, she's 79. Keeps what she calls her brain saver binder. It's got tabs for what she owes, what she owns, what she puts in her body, what people should know if she suddenly disappears, her words. She even has a section called Stuff I Keep Forgetting I Forgot. Does it sound silly? Maybe, but it keeps her sane. And let's be honest, how many jars of pickles do you really need because you keep forgetting you already bought some? Notebook, planner, whiteboard, or even voice memos. Whatever tool works, just stick to it. Consistency is the key. And if somebody teases you for it, just smile and say, I'm not forgetful. I'm just running a very advanced filing system. 3. A little just for me money stash. This one's personal. Too many older folks, especially those living solo, fall into the trap of thinking their money is only for medical bills, repairs, or leaving something behind. I say, forget that. Yes, be smart. Pay your bills. Don't blow it all on lottery tickets. But you need one bucket of cash that's only for you. Nobody else. Call it your joy jar, your play money, your I'm still here fund. It doesn't matter what you name it, as long as it reminds you that you still get to enjoy life. Take Evelyn. She's 81, frugal as they come, and clips coupons like a pro. But every now and then, she pulls $100 from her fund. When I asked her what that was, she grinned and said, "That's my prove I'm not done yet money." She spent it on things like a purple feathered hat, tickets to a blues concert, and once, a whole box of gourmet truffles. Living alone can trap you in maintenance mode. Bills, chores, repeat. But that's survival, not living. Your little financial pocket is about saying, I still matter. Whether it's new art supplies, a weekend trip, replacing that squeaky chair, or just buying the good ice cream. Let it be yours. And if the grandkids complain that you're dipping into their inheritance, just shrug and say, being alive isn't free, you know. 4. A just-in-case clarity folder. All right, time to talk about the thing nobody likes, the what-ifs. What if you faint? What if you end up in the ER and can't speak? What if your neighbor finds you unconscious with your cat glaring at you because breakfast is late? It sounds extreme until it happens. Here's reality. When you live alone, you're the only one who knows your medical details, insurance, allergies, contacts, all of it. If something bad goes down and you can't talk, everyone's left guessing. That's why you need a clarity folder. Think of it as a love note to your future self, your family, and anyone who might need to step in. It says, here's the cheat sheet if life gets messy. My buddy Hank, he's 77, calls his folder the Don't Panic packet. He keeps it in a bright red binder on his kitchen shelf. Inside, a copy of his ID, his doctor's info, a current med list, emergency numbers, a sticky note that says, if the dog growls, give him peanut butter and you'll be fine. You don't need to cover everything. Just make sure people aren't scrambling in the dark. And trust me, medics, nurses, and family all breathe easier when you've got one. And if you want bonus points, toss in something personal, a favorite saying, a playlist, or a little note that says, if I check out, please put socks on me. My feet hate the cold. Make it yours. 5. A one-step emergency plan. Here's one folks usually wait too long on. An easy way to call for help. Because here's the truth. When you're solo, there's nobody in the next room if you fall. The dog might bark, sure, but she can't dial 911. You need something you can hit once, one button, one voice command, and boom, help is on the way. We all used to laugh at those old ads. I've fallen and I can't get up. But now, doesn't seem so funny. Seems smart. Take Dolores. She's 75. She slipped on a bath mat last year, couldn't move for hours, and didn't have her phone on her. When her daughter showed up, she was dehydrated, furious, and embarrassed. Now, she's got a medical alert smartwatch. One press, and her daughter plus the fire department get notified. She swears she sleeps easier now. The cool thing is, these devices don't all look clunky anymore. Today you've got sleek smartwatches, voice assistants that can call if you yell the magic words, gadgets with fall detection that auto-dial for you. The key test. Can you use it even if you're scared, shaky, or half asleep? If yes, you're set. Don't wait till you need it. Set it up now. Not because you're fragile, but because you're wise. 6. A kitchen setup that doesn't fight you. Let's be honest. After 70, the kitchen can feel like an obstacle course at the Olympics. That top shelf? It might as well be Mount Everest. That dull knife you've been meaning to replace? Pretty much a lawsuit waiting to happen. And lifting a heavy cast iron pan with a wrist that's been aching since last Thursday? Forget about it. But here's the upside. Your kitchen doesn't need to feel like a battlefield. It should be your own little workshop, set up for you, not some celebrity chef with a TV crew. The trick is creating a setup that makes life easier, not harder. That means rearranging. Stop crawling into bottom cabinets just to drag out the pan you use every day. Bring your daily gear up to arm level. Let the turkey roaster live in the basement. You're not hosting 25 people anymore. And if you are, bless your heart. And for heaven's sake, ditch the gadgets that hurt your hands. That crank can opener from the 80s that makes you cuss like a sailor? Replace it with a push-button electric one. Nobody's handing out awards for toughness in the kitchen. My buddy Helen, 76, redesigned her kitchen into what she calls the easy cook zone. She keeps it simple: a microwave, an air fryer, a small rice cooker, and one good non-stick skillet. That's it. She whips up meals in 20 minutes flat, and on tired days she reheats pre-made meals like royalty. She also keeps a stool by the counter so she can sit while chopping, and added motion sensor lights so she never fumbles for a switch at night. Cooking shouldn't feel like punishment. You're not proving anything. You're feeding yourself, and you deserve a safe, comfortable kitchen. And as my pal Frank says, buy the nice olive oil. You've lived too long to waste time on bland food. 7. A straight-up relationship with your body. Let's not pretend. After 70, your body starts pulling stunts. Knees creak. Joints complain. You stand up too quick and need a second to remember what galaxy you're in. It's like your body turned into that passive-aggressive roommate. Fine one day, salty the next. But ignoring it doesn't make you stronger. It just gives trouble more time to brew. What you need is a no-nonsense relationship with your body. No pretending. No showing off. Just honesty. What works, what's changing, and what needs attention. Take my friend Curtis, 78. Former Marine, tough as nails. He kept brushing off dizzy spells, saying, "Just skipped lunch," or "probably the heat." Turned out his meds were clashing in a dangerous way. Could have killed him. All because he didn't want to make a fuss. Here's the thing. When you live alone, there's no one to say, "Hey, you don't look right." You've got to be that person for yourself. Say it when your foot hurts. Don't brush off that flutter in your chest. Don't tough it out with pain in your side. Call the doctor. Mention the awkward stuff. Be straight with the nurse. And don't let anyone talk down to you. You've been in your body longer than anyone else. You're the expert here. Also, go easy on yourself. Your body's been carrying you for decades. If it's dinged up a little, so what? You don't need perfect. You just need awareness, honesty, and kindness toward the one thing that's always been with you. 8. A ritual that grounds you, even when life feels fuzzy. Living alone can make the days blur together like leftover soup in the back of the fridge. You lose track of time. You water the same plant twice. You catch yourself rewatching the same reruns back to back. That's where ritual comes in. Not just a routine, a ritual, something steady and grounding that tells your brain, "This is my day. This moment belongs to me." My neighbor Doris, 82, begins every morning with a hot cup of tea and a hymn on the radio. Same mug, same station, same chair by the window. Never misses it. She says it lines her heart up before the day gets busy. Rituals don't have to be fancy or spiritual. It could be tossing breadcrumbs to the birds at sunrise, lighting a candle and writing one line in a journal, or sitting with your favorite mug, breathing quietly for 5 minutes. You do it not because anyone asks you to, but because you choose it. Because when loneliness creeps in, or your thoughts get cloudy, or the silence feels too loud, that ritual steadies you. It's a reminder. This moment is mine. I'm here. I still show up. 9. A hobby that's yours alone, but still connects you. When you're older and living solo, people love to say, "Just join a group." Like that solves everything. Truth is, some days you don't feel like going out. Some days you're tired of forced smiles. Some days, noisy people just drain you. That's why you need a hobby you can do alone, but still feel part of something bigger. I once met Leonard, 84, a widower who lived by himself. You'd think he'd be lonely, but you know what he did? He picked up ham radio, learned Morse code, and started chatting with folks worldwide, just tapping dots and dashes. When I asked him why, he said, "Nobody interrupts you in Morse code, and you still get heard." Your hobby doesn't have to be quirky like that. It could be painting, knitting, doing puzzles with opera playing in the background, tracing your family tree, writing stories about your ancestors, keeping a journal, or even tending plants and giving them names. The point is, you're engaging, not just existing. Even alone, you can feel tuned into the world, because connection doesn't always mean company. Sometimes it just takes a good hobby and intention. 10. The courage to ask for help before you're desperate. This one's tough, maybe the hardest of all. Most of us grew up believing the lie that asking for help means weakness, that it chips away at independence. But the truth is, asking for help early is strength. Waiting until it's an emergency, that's what steals your power. I get it. We've spent a lifetime being the ones others leaned on. Raising kids, paying bills, keeping the ship afloat. Now asking for help feels awkward, even shameful, like we're a burden. But here's what I've seen. The folks who thrive into their 70s, 80s, and 90s are the ones who ask for help before it turns into a disaster. They ask the neighbor to swap a light bulb before they fall off a ladder. They mention that nagging pain before it becomes an ER trip. They talk about loneliness before it caves in their chest. Struggling in silence isn't noble, and the people who care about you, they'd be glad to help. You've just gotten too good at putting on a brave face. So be brave in another way. Speak up. Call your nephew to walk you through the new phone settings. Ask the pharmacist to explain the prescription again, slower this time. Tell a friend, hey, I'd really love some company today. Asking for help doesn't take away independence. It protects it. And honestly, after everything you've lived through, you've more than earned the right to lean on others now and then. So there you have it. 10 things that make living solo after 70 not just doable, but enjoyable. It's about habits, support, and a little humor along the way. If this made you smile or think, hit that like button. And don't forget to subscribe for more real talks on living well your way. Take care. You've earned it.